Hi everyone, I'm Theresa V, and every month I check in with the angels to see what they have to say about the energy and what we're experiencing here on Earth. Their messages support us and help us to know that everything that we are going through is for a greater purpose. This month, the angels have been talking with us about the great influx of light and love that is happening for the planet right now. I've been hearing from people who are asking, why can't I access that? Why am I not able to feel it the way that I'm hearing it's coming to us? We talk about influxes of love like this very often during the winter holiday season, where everyone is focused on light and the festivals of light, and we can easily access the light that's coming into the planet. This is a time where the whole world feels this universally. What the angels have been talking about is that the spring, the beginning of springtime, is another point in the year where this influx of light is able to happen and be received. So half the world is going through entrance into spring right now, and the other half is going through entrance into fall. And then it will reverse. So there's always 50% of the world going through the entrance into spring in each 6-month period, which helps us to balance being able to receive this energy of love about halfway through the year. Now, this influx of love and this change in energy isn't just for the time being. This is a paradigm shift. The love and the energy and the frequency being beamed to the earth from the ethers, from our support teams, has shifted to a higher vibration because we can hold it for the most part. There are those of us who are choosing to move closer to the light, closer to love, and there are those of us who are choosing to move deeper into our shadow and closer to the fear energy. And there's no judgment around how this happens, but we have been sustained in both directions until this very point in time. And at this moment, that is shifting. Those energies that are choosing to move deeper into shadow or to stay in the shadow or to stay in the lower vibrations are no longer being sustained by, and the support is always there when someone chooses to go to a higher vibration. So this is a big shift for us, and this is why so many of us have not been able to feel the influx of love energy the way that we've been hearing and that the angels are saying it's coming to us. Whatever there is within us that resonates a little bit in the fear place or the shadow place or is preventing us from feeling the fullness of this love is coming into our awareness to let us know that it's there and ready for transmutation, clearing, healing, rewiring, or just letting go. So if you are in a space where you can't fully bask in the glory of this love energy, then just know that this energy that's within you, that's probably been handed down to you over the generations, is actually a little bit in opposition to it and is coming up to show you, hey, I'm still here. Let's work through this. The beautiful part of this process of switching frequencies is that we're doing this in waves. So there are people moving through all of the stuff and getting to the place where they're integrating and feeling relief and being able to live in the higher frequency. As other people choose then, because they've seen what's possible, choose to move into this higher frequency so that we're showing each other it's okay. So just know that comparison is not necessary here. We're all taking our own turn. You're not always going to be on the first wave. You're not always going to be on the last wave. It's just about where your system is and where your soul chooses to make these agreements. What's been coming up for so many of us is the genetics that are ready to be rewired. These are old programs, old inherited beliefs, old ways of showing up in the world that don't serve us at this point in time where the Earth's energy is or where humanity's energy is. An example of this that I've seen over and over in session is the belief that in order to show up in our purpose, it has to be a lot of hard work and it has to take a very long time. This is something that many of us have inherited through the genetic line and through our own experience. For us, where we are, everything is accelerated. Everyone's feeling it. Everyone feels time speeding up. So this process can be accelerated if we drop the limiting belief and we allow it to be. So many of us have worked within ourselves on releasing this limiting belief. What hasn't changed for us is the genetic patterning of having it inherited and having it be part of our actual physical makeup. This has been a little bit of a resistance point for the highly sensitive people because what we feel is releasing this a lot of times makes us bad people, makes us unappreciative of the people who have come before us. We feel like we might be releasing them when what we really want is to hang on to their memory and the beautiful things that we've inherited from them. This is not the case, and we need to reframe this. What we need to think about here is that all of those things served us in a very special way. The evidence is that you are here. Those things served to allow the genetic line to continue so that you could be here right now. They were survival mechanisms. They were necessary at the time that they were employed for whatever reason. And at this moment, they aren't necessary anymore. So when we can release these things with gratitude for getting us to this point, for making sure that we survived as a genetic line to this moment, we can then feel better and allow our nervous system, allow our energy system to relax so that we can do this from a place of truly being invested in creating the highest and the best. I have yet to be in session with someone where the angels have offered this kind of healing assistance, and all of the lineage, backwards and forwards, has not been on board with making these changes. Because as we rewire and as we bring in something newer and more useful, we are able to show up more fully and make more of an impact on the world, which is exactly what every person who has ever existed has wanted to do. Leave something behind. And for many of us, we are the things that eventually were left behind by those people. So they want to see us succeed in the way that we feel called. And by creating this freedom and this repatterning for ourselves, not only are we creating it now, but we're creating it backwards and we're creating it forwards in time, and we're creating it laterally as well. So all of those who are existing at the same time as we are can also have this shift happen for them if their soul chooses that as well. So the big takeaway from May is that the angels want you to not feel less than, not feel the need to compare yourself to another person's growth or where they are in the world or how they're showing up. What they want you to understand is that if there's anything preventing you from feeling the fullness of the love that is just showering this planet at the time, go inside. Ask yourself the questions. Ask your energetic system and your physical body the questions of what is it that is showing up right now, that is showing itself to me, that is ready to be transformed, transmuted, healed, released, let go of, or thanked. And you will get your answer. And when you do, you will have a point to start working from. And if for any reason you can't get clear enough, just allow it to settle in and then come back to it at another time where you feel more relaxed and more clear. This is a really beautiful time. And if you can't feel this love energy this month, it's going to keep coming. This higher frequency is going to keep coming to us. This is the new way. The old way is different. It's not being sustained. All of those things that were built from this old energy being sustained are falling apart. The things that are no longer true are falling apart, and they're just not being supported. So this new energy, this new higher frequency, this love energy is supporting creativity, infinite creativity. So when you feel called to create something new, know that that's not just you wanting to create something new. Know that that's your duty right now, because as these old things break away, the new has to come in. Creating with this energy and then playing with those creations, seeing how we can shift and change them and make them better, and running them by other people and getting feedback, and just creating as a community as opposed to creating what works for one or for a very small number of people is key at this time. So this feels like a lot of information, and the angels want you to allow this information just to wash over you and sink in. You can come back to this video if you feel called to listen again. You might hear something different or feel a different frequency. They also want all of us to know that a lot of shifting and changing can be done in our dream time. It doesn't have to be incredibly hard work anymore, but we do have to do the work. We do have to be open to growing and shifting and changing and doing all of the things that we are being guided to do in order to get there. So a lot of these things, there's divine dispensation where this can be done over our dream time. So if we call in our angelic team to assist us in process during the time we are sleeping, we can clear a lot of this with relative ease and grace and never even have to go through the feelings of being depleted. The other thing is that when we're reprogramming some of this stuff, what can happen is we feel a little off center for a few days. We feel off, and we can't really say anything other than, I feel off. So just know that until the rest of your system gets used to the new programming, this could happen, and it generally only takes 3 to 5 days. Your physical system, your emotional system may go looking for those old programs to pull behavior from. And when they go back and there's nothing there, or there's something completely different there, it gets confused as to what to do until it learns that, okay, this is the thing that's replaced that other thing. You may just feel a little off, and not in a really bad way, just in a way where you're noticing something strange. So they want you to just feel calm and know that it won't last very long. It's just your system going to retrieve these old programs to pull behaviors and to model behaviors from. That feels like a lot for us to take in and to bask in this month. I'm so grateful that we are basking in this information this month. And through it all, know that your angelic team is with you every single step of the way, and that you are so loved. You are so important to this planet, and you were created exactly perfectly suited for the work that you are here to do. Many blessings. If you want to go deeper into your relationship with the angels, into a community of people who are like-minded and like-hearted, I invite you to take part in our Angel Transformation Hour call for May. It's happening on May 22nd. The link is in the comments section and in the description of this video. These calls are by donation, and the donations are shared with a charity that's inspired by the angels and what's going on in the planet this month. Look forward to feeling you and being with you on the call, and maybe even having the angels answer your question. And if you feel resonance with these videos and these messages, please feel free to share them. The more far and wide we can get these angelic messages out to the world, the more change we can create, and we can do it much faster. I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Goodbye, everybody.